Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to News Now, and I haven't made a video in a very long time, and I'm very sorry. It's just school, but during the summer, plenty of videos, pretty much daily videos for every weekday, so yeah, look forward to that. But anyway guys, today we are going to talk about life with a $30 smartwatch, and pretty much this is my new sort of style of review where it's mostly one shot, maybe a couple of other shots, but mainly it's one shot of me talking about the product that I'm reviewing, in this case the smartwatch. And yeah, let's go. So you've probably seen me wearing this in many of my videos before. I've had this for a very long time, or not a very long time. I've had it since the fall of last year, and I meant to do a review much earlier, but I was really busy and I just didn't get to it, and there were other products being announced, so I just decided to make videos on them instead. But today let's talk a little bit about this watch. So let me just take it off right here and give you a nice little look at what it looks like. Once it focuses, there you go. So essentially it's an OLED panel. I bought it off Amazon for $30. I think it was like $28, but close enough. I think with the shipping fees and sales tax and everything like that, I think that this was around $30. So basically, when you raise your wrist, it's gonna turn on as it did just now. After a couple of seconds, it will automatically turn off unless you start fiddling around with other things on the software, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But essentially, it's very easy to just simply raise your wrist and look at it. It's not as accurate as the Apple Watch or any of those high-end smartwatches you're gonna buy, but this is definitely pretty good. And as long as you jerk your arm, I guess, very noticeably and very quickly, it should be fine. So pretty much, okay, you turn your wrist, look at the time, you get all this information. You get the time, you get the day, you get the date, you also get the battery life. It's very helpful. You can also tell whether it's PM or AM, I guess. And this OLED panel is very nice to see outdoors. It doesn't get too bright that hurts your eyes at night, but also gets bright enough so that you can see it during the daytime, even under direct sunlight. So very good there. I don't know anything about the nits of brightness or anything like that on this, but yeah, of course it's not going to be like anything crazy like the Apple Watch. I think that has like 150 to 200 nits, but this is definitely up there. So in addition to the OLED panel you have here, there's actually a touch sensor over there. So actually, in case when you turn your wrist it doesn't turn on, you can simply just press this little white button down here, which actually turns it on as well. Now if you tap it once, you actually get the number of steps you've taken so far, which I like to look at a lot once it focuses. There we go. And then if you tap it again, you get a number of bicycles, which I don't find super useful, but whatever. You tap it again, you're back here. So basically it's tap, 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 and then you're back there. There is more to this watch than just that, I promise. But for $30, that's already a good amount of features you're getting. It's calculating the exact number of steps, which is actually way more accurate than Fitbit or any other smart tracker I've ever used before. This is the first smartwatch that I have actively owned and used, meaning I've used other smartwatches in the past, but not as my daily watch or anything like that. I used an Armatron digital watch before, but it broke, so I ended up with this instead. So let's turn around to the back. On the back you can see that there is a couple little pins on the bottom. It says Evershop, which is the name of the manufacturer, I'm assuming. And then yeah, it's made of plastic. I know it looks like really high-end material, but yeah, it's all plastic. So the way you take it out of the band is actually it's sort of similar, I guess, to, actually I don't know what it's similar to. I don't really know any smartwatches that do this, but basically you just pop it out like that. It's very easy. It's actually hard to get back in, but you take it out and it's very easy. So let's look at a couple more software features of this little guy. So this little guy, it's a circular face, which I've always loved circular watches more than squarish watches, because I guess it's just sort of the traditional watch shape. But anyway, from here you can actually hold down on the touch capacitor, focus, and then once you hold down here, you have all these other options, such as I think this is sleep or something. And then over here is the swim, the number of times you swam, I guess. And it's also waterproof, so you can take it with you into the shower or in the pool. It'll be fine. It's not water resistant, it's waterproof. That is music. That is camera. It's actually, it will ping to your local camera and show you interface of what your camera is seeing. That is pinging your phone in case you lose it. That is, I think that's anti-loss or something like that. And that's power off. That's go back. Right, so that's pretty much it for this interface on the watch, but it actually comes with a companion app, which I'm going to show you right now. It's called a Smart Wristband, and pretty much what it does is it tracks a lot of things that just can't be displayed in the watch right here. For example, you can see the number of miles you've walked or swam or whatever, and you can also see, I think, how many calories you burned. And the app's free. It connects via Bluetooth to your watch, so you should have it on Bluetooth all the time. It takes a little while to sync, but after that it's fine. Yeah, it tells you the number of calories you burned, the number of miles you walked. It also tells you sort of like your exercise trends. So it's more of a fitness tracker and a sort of exercise companion more than an actual like smartwatch you'd wear. You know, just to look fancy or whatever, for stylish purposes or fashion purposes. So yeah, that is what's going on here. It tracks your number of steps you walked, how much you bicycled, how much you swimmed. I'm not an avid biker, but apparently I bike quite a bit. You can also set a bunch of different activities you're going to be doing, such as sit-ups, jumping rope, jumping jacks, or treadmill, and tap one of those based on that. And then you have a bunch of settings where you can enable things like anti-loss, which will ping your phone if you lost it, or also what it would do is it would ping your watch in case you lose that. So it's sort of like an anti-loss solution for both devices. Now let's talk a little bit about the wristband. I personally am not a fan of the wristband, and that's probably one of the biggest cons about this is the wristband. I got the white version instead of the black, which I understand comes with its own set of advantages and disadvantages. But one of the disadvantages about not just getting white, but by getting this kind of material is that, well, because it's white, it stains much more easily and it's much more obvious. But also, it's gotten really old really fast. I've only been wearing it for, I've been wearing it for fewer than 6 months, and already it's starting to go gray and black. It doesn't look as clean as it used to. I've cleaned it under the shower. I've cleaned it everywhere. I've put a lot of cleaning materials on it. It looks okay for a little while, but I guess because I fence with it and I do a lot of exercise with it as I'm an athlete, you can expect this guy to not be so pretty after you use it a lot. It's got sort of like some stains around the ring here, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And then when you actually put this guy in the charger, that's when things get interesting, because the charging solution for this guy is sort of like wireless charging, but not really. So basically, let me show you the charger. It's not a wired solution. It's actually this little thing. There are two little pins here that connect to two of the 5 pins on the back of the watch, and there's a USB 3 little cable right here that can plug into a computer or plug into a power brick that can go to your outlet or whatever. I personally use a computer. I find that much easier. It's a tiny little thing. So if you're ever gonna get this, I suggest that you actually get a plastic something like container to put it in. That's what I do. So I usually keep it in here. It's my Universal Studios pouch. I don't know. It's kind of broken. So, but yeah, how's the battery life? It's well, officially Evershop claims it will last you 7 days, but I find it's lasting more like 4 or 5. It's not a huge deal. It's kind of annoying and tiresome and tedious to charge it every time, but it's not that bad, and overall I feel like the battery life cannot disappoint. I mean, after all, it's only $30. Now you can also get text on it. For example, I just got this text. If it can focus. Yeah, so I just got that text, and you can get text on the watch as long as it's connect via Bluetooth to your iPhone, or I think it works with Android as well. So overall, that's pretty much it. thank you guys so much for watching this video, this quick review of life with a $30 smartwatch. If I were to give you a final decision about whether to buy it or not, I'd say no. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop using this watch, because I've already bought it and I've already used it, and I've already used it for many months. I know how to use it, and I'm not really willing to switch, at least for another several years. Maybe my next watch will be an Apple Watch or Android Wear or something. But for now, I'm sticking up with this guy, not just because I bought it, because it's actually a genuinely good fitness tracker for the price that they're charging. I understand that many people are going to want to spend maybe a little bit more and get something a little bit more of a high-end option, and I agree with that as well. I'd say for this money, it's for the kind of money they're charging it, Evershop is charging, it's a very good deal, but I feel like you can get much better deals. Also, it's not really, it's a little bit shady in that the app is a little bit shady. It crashes a lot. It's not updated very often. It's also run by Chinese guys, so there are a bunch of Chinese characters that pop up all the time, and the English text isn't very good. But overall, it's not bad, and I really think that you know, if you're considering getting a smartwatch, you might want to consider this one of your options. I just don't think it's for everybody, especially people who aren't athletes. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video.